Why South Sudan? An Every Village podcast where we answer questions about the world's youngest nation. The question of the day is, who is Daniel Lual, Every Village Country Director? Hey everyone, my name is Tiana Johnston and I'm the host of this podcast called Why South Sudan, where we answer a question each episode about the world's newest nation. And so today we actually have somebody very special all the way from Africa here in the studio. We have Daniel Lual. Say hi.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm happy. It's nice to be here, Tiana. Thank you.
It's so good. I was asking Daniel before we started if he's been on a podcast, and you said no.
No, I never been. So
yeah, but you've been on radio many times.
Yes, I've been on radio many times, and it's good. I guess it's similar.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. So a little backstory on Daniel. So he is our Every Village Country Director, which is a really big title. You've been with us for how many years now?
I think it's 12 years, full time. But before that, I've been working part time with Every Village.
Wow. Yeah. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
And so, as you can tell, he has a little bit of an accent.
Yeah, I am. Not American.
Because he is South Sudanese.
Yeah, I am a South Sudanese, and I've been traveling to America many times. So this is my 5th time here in America.
Mm-hmm. It is really fun. I was telling him the other day, when you were here, it just feels normal. Like you're like, oh, Daniel's here.
Yeah. When you've been traveling to a place frequently, and people meet you, it feels normal, like you've been here yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel at home whenever I'm here. It's
That's good.
Yeah.
You're even driving this time.
Yeah. This time it's a new thing for me. I've been a little bit nervous. But you have a very good road in America. Where I live in Kampala, Uganda, the roads are very narrow and there are so many road users, like the motorbikes, we call them boda, and the bicycle, the car. So whenever you are driving around, it's really very tight and very scary. But here is wide and good.
It's true. I mean, even thinking, near the team house, like there's so many street vendors and everything. It's very busy.
It's very busy. So many people coming to cross the road, many people walking, and many motorbikes. So it's hard. Yeah. But here it's easy.
It is.
I just have to watch out for the traffic lights and the signs and things that you need to know about driving in America. But otherwise, just the area, looking at the roads and the area, it's really good. You have your road so wide, so many lanes, and it's good. It's fun to drive here.
It's funny to think just how I'm so used to it. I've driven for so many years now. But even when we were explaining it to you, I'm like, oh man, it's so different to have to explain this is what the light means and this is what the signs mean.
Yeah. It's a very different here, but it's good. I mean, the biggest problem for me here is that all the places look the same, So when I'm trying to recall where I've been before, it's difficult to know because everywhere is looking alike. So it's difficult.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So today's question is really just to get to know you and to hear your story. So would love to hear even from the beginning. I know you're from Awil.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to start from there, even is your parents still in Awil, or would love to know.
Yeah, Awil is where I was born, and my parents is still there. It's actually my mother is still alive, but my father died a long time ago in 1988 when I was a young boy. So during my childhood, it was there's a war in Sudan, and it's now South Sudan, but it was between Sudan and South Sudan. So I was abducted by the Arab guys from northern Sudan coming to raid our village. They raided our village, and I as a little boy, I was abducted. And they beaten me up, actually. They left me dead, thinking that I was completely dead. But I recovered, and I thank God for that. So that was my life experience when I was young, and I grew up in 1994. Later, there was a pastor who came to our village, and he preached the gospel. He was a South Sudanese who went to Ethiopia as for military training to be a soldier, but he came back with the gospel. And that's how we came to know the Lord.
Wow.
Yeah, in 1994, the first time for me to see a church and also see a white person. Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Yes, it is.
So how many siblings do you have?
We are 4, so 2 boys and 2 girls.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I am the second born. Actually, the firstborn died, and the second one is now alive, my sister, and then I followed her, and the other one came after me.
Are all of your siblings, are they following God now?
Yes, they are all believers. Yeah, and even my mother is, yeah.
Oh, praise God. And so how long were you in, I guess, a wheel for? Because I think even thinking back, because I'd love to even hear how you got connected to Every Village in the first place. Like, how old were you?
The first time I met Every Village team was 2005, and I think I was 25 or 24 years. And the team went to my village and they taught chronological Bible stories. And I was one of the translators. So that's when I met this guy called Tom Owens, who later sponsored me. And I came to Kampala in 2008, and later in 2009, I got admitted in the university, Kampala International University. So I did a Bachelor of Business Administration. And that time I was working part-time with Every Village, recording radio content. So when I finished in 2012, I got a full-time job with Every Village in radio. And then from there, I got promoted, and I became a country director 2021.
Wow. Yeah. I feel like you've also carried many roles, because I guess you were in radio first.
Yes.
Yeah. What were all of your titles with Every Village?
Yeah, in the beginning, they were calling me radio lead, because I was the first South Sudanese to work in radio, and then later the other South Sudanese got employed. I was the one leading them. And so in radio, I was working with Blake, John, and Andrew Brown later. And then when Andrew Brown moved to Africa, he stayed there in Kampala for 2 years, and we worked together in radio. I was still a radio lead, and Andrew was a radio director. So later, when Andrew moved back to America, he became he became executive director. And so I got promoted by him to be a radio director. That was 2018. So I was a radio director from that time up to 2021, when I got this promotion in April to be a country director.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing a different roles, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. I feel like, Andrew has grown so much in his role, but I feel like you also have too, which I know, being on the radio, South Sudanese, automatically give you the respect. And I remember you telling us a story about when before you would do, like you would teach about, medical training on the radio, and then you would teach about the Bible training, and just people thought you just knew everything.
Yeah, when I was living in Kampala, we had Carrie Jean. She is a nurse in America.
Oh, Carrie Snow.
Yeah, Carrie Snow.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carrie Snow. Yeah, thanks. She's a nurse, and she went to Africa, to help Every Village, to volunteer, and she was writing some health content. And so I was recording those. And also there was Cassandra Ginter.
Uh-huh.
She was she a teacher, and so she was writing some things to do with education. And I was recording those as well, and recording Bible content, Bible story. And people were thinking, oh, this guy knows everything. He's he's a preacher, he's a doctor, he's a teacher. How does he learn all these things? So, and I was telling them, it's not from me. It's from somebody, and I'm just a voice. I'm recording what they have written. So anyway, it was a good fun, and people learn a lot from radio. Radio help teach people how to keep themselves clean, to have disease prevented, and a lot of things, and the Word of God as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you miss being on the radio, even, just translating and doing Bible stories?
Yeah, I do, but sometimes I get time to record some things, some topics, like recently I went to a wheel, my village, where every village is operating, and we were intentional about how South Sudan has become, with the technology coming in, and it is a new thing. And so we've been talking about how people have been relief-minded, and now every village is teaching everybody to be a development-minded. So we talk about those things and the changes that come to South Sudan, with the gospel, and also how the churches are preaching much more about prosperity and other things, prosperity gospel. So I've been recording those, and my voice was on radio. So sometimes I get on radio, but not frequently, like before.
Yeah. But I feel like you're you're still pretty well known in the area.
Yeah. They still playing some of the content I recorded long time ago now. And whenever I'm recording something about what is happening, they hear my voice, especially in Dinka, in my mother tongue.
Mm-hmm.
In Mavolo, in the other location where every village is working, they are recording things in their local language there. So they don't hear my voice a lot on radio. But in the Dinka area, in Tonj, in Awil, in other places, they hear my voice on radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So also, even to catch people up, so you are married, and then how many children do you have?
Yeah, yes. I am married. I have 5 children. That's 4 boys and 1 girl. And the tricky thing is, we don't know how many children we shall have. There may be more coming. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in South Sudan, people like a big family. Some people, they have 10 children, some of them 12, some of them 8, some of them 9. The problem is sometimes you don't have them remain alive, forever. Some of them died, and you end up having only 4 or 3 or 5. Like we were supposed to be 6 children in my family, but we are now 4. So people say, let me give birth, let me have more children, because I don't know how many children will be alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminded me of this morning, we had staff devotion and we were talking about the legacy. And I mean, in South Sudan, your children are your legacy. Like that,
yes.
That really is what is going to carry on the family traditions and the family names and,
True.
And everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So people like boys, because the boys will carry names of their family. They're going to name you after. They're going to name you after you are gone, and we also like to have daughters. To have girls, because girls would be married, and there is something funny about paying for your wife in South Sudan. So the more girls you have, the more wealthy you will become. So it's something like that, but not only about wealth. girls, they have a unique way of looking after their parents and also loving their parents compared to boys. So, yeah.
Which I would say is similar to America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tends to be the girl kind of stays with her family and the son,
Yes.
goes off with the married family. Yeah.
Yes, it is like that.
Yeah.
Also in South Sudan. And they keep remembering the bonds of the parents, even when they are married and they have their own children. They still like to come back and keep in touch with you. So we like daughters for that. Yes.
Well, all of your children are very tall.
Yes. Yeah. My mother is taller and my father as well. And then my wife is from a tall family, and so I am also from a tall family. So our kids grow up quickly and they look big. My firstborn son is much taller than me, and he's only 16 years old.
Wow.
He's still growing, and also his brother is now about my height.
Wow.
His younger brother. So everybody is tall. Even my daughter is very tall, and he's only 11 years now. She just turned 11 last week.
Oh, I can't believe she's 11 already.
Yeah,
my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, I loved hearing your story. I actually feel like I didn't know that part of your story in the beginning in reference to the war between Sudan and South Sudan, and you getting kidnapped and everything, which is crazy. Here in America, we just it does not does not compute to us at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, even seeing like the Lord's hand on your life, that you were like translating for Every Village, and then Tom Owens, I'm going to say he felt from the Lord, to really invest in you and to send you to training or to college, like that was such a gift. So I think I love hearing stories because you see the overarching, like God's hand was on your life to even put you in the place that you are now.
Yeah, I believe that God was the one carrying me through all those crises. A lot of problems had been happening in Sudan, in South Sudan. And the war has never ended completely. South Sudan got independence in 2011. And the peace agreement was signed in 2005. But actually, the war started in 1955 before the independence of Sudan from British colonies. And so it stopped in 1972. And again, it started in 1983, and it lasted for 2 decades. It was like 21 or 22 years. And finally, there was a peace agreement, 2005. All this time, it has been difficult for young people, even for the grown-up, for children. There has been war, and people got traumatized. And the only thing we know is war, is crisis. So in 2011, when South Sudan became a country, we were excited, so happy, hoping to enjoy our country and get opportunities. But in 2013, the civil war again broke out among the South Sudanese themselves, and it was the worst war, even if it didn't last that long like the Sudan war, because this is among the brothers and sisters, they killing each other. So I've been seeing God's hands. I was able to come live in Kampala with my family, and Every Village gave me this job, and I'm able to send my kid to school so they live a better life compared to other children in South Sudan villages. So I thank God. I'm very thankful how God protected me and the opportunities God has given me to go to school. I have many age mates who did not get a chance to go to school and learn or even get a job. So I thank God for that, and it gives me courage and confidence that I have right to serve the Lord because He actually called me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Amen. Oh, that was so good. So even with your children now going to school in Kampala, which is such a blessing, and your wife, she's now also going to school.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so good. You recently brought them to a wheel, I think for the summer, right?
Yeah, on Christmas,
Oh, Christmas.
it was December
Mm-hmm.
last year.
How was that for them?
It was good fun, but it was also a very big difference.
Mm.
They were actually not able to understand a lot of things because they don't know the local language. They speak English, uh, and it was sometimes difficult to understand people in the village there, and even enjoy food or enjoy the life there. But anyway, it was a good adventure. They liked seeing their country, and it was good for them to know where I came from,
Mm-hmm.
and to see my parents, my mother, and my other siblings, and for them to see how lucky they are.
Yeah, very.
They have a better life compared to those children in the village. Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was it was good for them to
Mm-hmm.
see. Yeah.
And then your wife, is her village near yours?
Yeah, her village is not too far away from my village. It's about 7 miles away, I think.
Oh.
6 miles, actually, from
Mm-hmm.
my village. And her village is where every village is. We have a compound in Wanjok, and that is where my wife is from.
Mm.
And when I was there, I was actually was with the family. We were staying in her village, and my children were meeting her siblings and her parents more than my parents and my siblings.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it was good.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so glad they got to see that. And it's true. They will be very appreciative. I mean,
Yeah,
you even have Quat here with you here in America on this trip.
yeah. My son Quad is now here for medical need. He's my second born, and he's 14 years old. And actually, the problem is about a bone get infected. One leg is not growing. So we shall see what the doctors here will say about it, and their advice and their recommendation. We know in America, America is a developed country, a developed world, and so the medical services here is better than the one we have in Africa. So we are hoping for the
Mm-hmm.
best. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're definitely praying for his appointment to go well and for God's, healing hand on it and everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're so thankful to have you here. I enjoyed having you on, so I think we're going to do another episode.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for just sharing your story and letting people get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah. Thank you, Tiana. Thanks for this. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we invite everyone back to the next episode as we answer the question, what do you love most about the Every Village team? Take care.